Once upon a time, in the soft darkness of night, there was a curious rabbit named Tim. He lived in a warm and cozy burrow with his family, under a tall oak tree. One night, as Tim was about to snuggle into his furry blanket, he saw a glowing light shining through his window. It was so bright that it lit up the entire burrow. Tim couldn't resist the curiosity that was tugging at him. He hopped out of his warm bed and followed the light, which led him to an enchanted forest he had never seen before. The trees were glowing with their own soft lights, and the flowers shone like tiny stars. It was as if he had stepped into a dreamy land called Dreamland. As Tim wandered deeper into Dreamland, he met many wonderful animals: a butterfly that could talk, a hedgehog who played a flute, and a dragonfly with sparkling wings. They all welcomed him warmly and showed him the most magical parts of their land. One night, while Tim was exploring a hillside covered in soft moss, he stumbled upon a small animal nest hidden under a bush. Inside the nest were 3 baby birds, shivering and hungry. Tim's heart broke for them, so he gathered some fresh grass from the meadow and brought it to them. The grateful baby birds pecked at the grass, and soon they were all warm and full. Tim felt happy that he could help them, even though he didn't have any fancy gifts like the other animals in Dreamland. He realized that kindness was more important than anything else. As Tim hopped back to his burrow, he saw a shooting star streak across the sky. It made him think of all the magical friends he had met in Dreamland and how they had taught him about the power of kindness. And so, with a smile on his face, Tim snuggled into his warm bed and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of his new friends and the magic of kindness. As Tim's adventures in Dreamland continued, he met many more magical creatures. One day, he came across a unicorn named Sparkle, who was feeling sad because her horn wasn't as shiny as the other unicorns. Tim listened to Sparkle's troubles and told her that she was beautiful just the way she was. Sparkle smiled and thanked him for his kind words. Another time, Tim encountered a group of mischievous pixies who were playing tricks on each other. He tried to join in on their games, but they would always move away before he could catch them. Finally, one little pixie named Flutterby stopped and let Tim play with her. They had so much fun flying around the flowers together that Tim forgot all about the other pixie's tricks. One night, as Tim was walking through a field of tall grass, he heard whimpering coming from somewhere deep within the stalks. He pushed his way through the grass and found a tiny puppy lost and scared. Tim picked up the puppy and held it close to keep it warm until they found their way back home. The little puppy licked Tim's face happily, grateful for his help. As the seasons passed, Tim returned to Dreamland again and again, making new friends and learning new lessons about kindness and friendship. Each time he visited, the magic of Dreamland seemed to grow brighter and more vibrant, and when he finally had to leave each time, a shooting star would guide him back home, reminding him of all the wonderful memories he had made in his magical dream world. One day, Tim decided to visit the beautiful lake at the center of Dreamland. As he walked along its shimmering surface, he heard a gentle splashing sound coming from underneath the water. He peered down and saw a mermaid struggling to swim against the current. Without hesitation, Tim jumped into the cool water and swam towards the mermaid. Together, they fought against the strong current until they reached the safety of the shore. The grateful mermaid introduced herself as Luna and thanked Tim for saving her life. They spent the rest of the day exploring the colorful coral reefs and playing with the schools of brightly colored fish that swam around them. As night fell, Tim and Luna sat on the sandy beach, watching the stars twinkle above them. Luna told Tim about how sometimes she felt lonely in her underwater home and longed to see the world above the water's surface. Touched by her story, Tim promised to visit her often and bring her stories of his adventures in Dreamland. Their friendship grew stronger with each visit, and soon they were inseparable. They would spend hours swimming through the vibrant coral reefs and exploring hidden caves filled with glittering treasures. The magic of their friendship shone brighter than any of the gifts Tim had brought from his own world. As time passed, Tim began to miss Dreamland more and more. He would close his eyes at night and imagine himself swimming through the sparkling waters or flying high above the clouds with his new friends. But he knew that eventually he would have to leave this magical world behind. One day, as he was saying goodbye to Luna after a particularly wonderful adventure, he felt a warmth spreading throughout his body. Looking down, he saw that his rabbit's foot had turned into a beautiful glowing lantern. It was a gift from Dreamland, a reminder of the magic and friendship he had experienced there. With a heavy heart, Tim said goodbye to Luna and made his way back to his burrow. As he snuggled under his warm blanket, he felt the comforting weight of the lantern by his side, and even though he was back in the real world, he knew that the magic of Dreamland would always be with him, shining brighter than any gift or treasure.